Hello friends, in this current affairs video, let us discuss about Essential Commodities Amendment Act 2020. This is brought to you by UPSC Current Affairs. This is a YouTube channel. So recently, Parliament has passed 3 agricultural bills. All the 3 bills are very important for UPSC. In this particular video, I will be explaining Essential Commodities Amendment Act 2020. But I have made videos of all the 3 acts passed by the Parliament. Please go through these videos. You can definitely expect one question in UPSC mains among these 3 bills. So coming back to this particular video, in this video we will be discussing Essential Commodities Act 1955 in the beginning and what was the need to amend this Essential Commodities Act. Later, let us go to the details of the Amendment Act and its drawbacks and its impact in the future. Now let us try to understand Essential Commodities Act. This act was enacted in 1955. This was the time when India just got freedom. Poverty level of people was very high and people were not able to afford the essential commodities. At this time, there were some powerful people, there were some hoarders. They used to buy essential commodities and they used to keep it in storage location. Then when the price goes very high, they used to sell those items in the black market. They used to make a lot of profit, but poor people were used to suffer a lot due to this hoarding and black marketing. In order to avoid that, central government has enacted Essential Commodities Act. Now, what is essential commodity? There is no specific definition of essential commodity in this particular act. It says that anything which is specified in the schedule of the act is essential commodity. Central government has the power to add or remove the commodity as a essential commodities in the schedule. There is something known as there are lists of items which can be mentioned in the schedules. Whenever something is added, then that is called essential commodity. State governments have the power to implement this act. So whenever some item has been added in the schedule, the implementation part will go to the state government. For example, recently government has added sanitizers as well as face masks due to COVID outbreak. Once it is added, then state governments can regulate the production, supply, trade and commerce of these essential commodities. For example, when face mask was added in the essential commodity, state government can go to the producer of this particular item and they can ask them to increase the production. They can also tell that whatever the production has happened, that can be sold to the doctors as well as the hospitals. Currently, 7 commodities are included in the Essential Commodities Act's schedules. They are drugs, fertilizers, foodstuffs including the edible oil, hang yarn made wholly from cotton, petroleum and petroleum products, raw jute and jute textile, seeds, basically seeds of food crops, fruits and vegetables, cattle fodder, jute seed, cotton seed, etc. So you just have a look at it, but it is not very important for the exam. Now, in case of price rise of these items, then state government can fix the stock holding limit. State government can fix particular limit. Beyond that, no one can hold the items or they cannot store the items. Also, government can restrict the movement of the goods and fix the prices limits of this particular commodities. In case someone is not following the guidelines, regulations of the government, then government has got the power to confiscate the stock seized, also suspend or cancel the licenses, impose punishments like imprisonments. This is the whole picture of Essential Commodities Act 1955. Essential Commodities Act helped the poor people from the harassment during the era of 1950s, 60s and all. However, as the time progressed, same act is becoming the issue to the economy. Recent economic survey has highlighted the same. When the act is enacted, that time India was facing the shortage of food grains. But today, India is making a surplus food grain production, and this act is not required now. That is what is the highlighted by the economic survey. So economic survey says that there is a less investment in the storage locations in the country. This is majorly because there is a stock limit in the ECA. Because of this stock limit, people are not investing on the storage locations. For every year, food grains and all, there will be a surplus production and deficit production. And this cycle will continue year on year. During the surplus year, food grains needs to be stored in a storage location that can be used in the deficit year. However, because there is no storage locations in the country, whatever the surplus produced get wasted. Since it is getting wasted, deficit year we are facing the shortage of the food grains. This shortage of the food grains resulting in the fluctuation of the prices of the agricultural commodities. This is one of the major issue with the Essential Commodities Act. Reduced producer profit, weakness in the agricultural value chain, also less vibrant commodity derivative markets. These are all the other issues of ECA. All these things are resulting in volatility in the agricultural producers, also other producers in the Essential Commodities Act. This is exactly opposite of why this act has been enacted. Apart from that, there is a harassment of the traders. Economic survey highlighted that there were 75,000 raids on the different traders. Out of these 75,000 raids, only 3.8% found successful. This shows that there is a harassment of the traders. Since this act provides the huge powers to the officials, there is a chances that it is misused and corrupted practices can be started. This is one of the negative impact of ECA. Apart from that, India is not considered as the reliable partner of agricultural commodity. Because of the ECA, people are not able to export the essential commodities to the different countries. Because of this, India is not considered as a reliable partner. Due to all these issues in the act, recently economic survey highlighted to amend or cancel this particular act. Based on the recommendations of the economic survey, recently government has amended this act. Now let us try to understand the provisions of the new amendment act. This new amendment act is not applicable to entire section of the essential commodities, rather it is applicable to the food items. Food items mentioned here, these are all deregulated or less regulated as per the new amendment act. As we have already seen, there is a price regulation option, also stock limit mentioned in the Essential Commodities Act. But in case of these food grains, price regulations can be done only under extraordinary circumstances. These extraordinary circumstances also mentioned in the Amendment Act, that is war, famine, extraordinary price rise, natural calamity of grave nature. These are the only 4 instances in which price regulations of these food items can be done. Also, stock limit can be imposed by the government in these 2 conditions, that is 100% increase in the retail price of the horticulture produce or 50% increase in the retail price of the non-perishable agricultural food items. Only these 2 instances stock limit can be imposed by the government. This is the whole picture of the new amendment act. Let us try to understand the impact of the new amendment act. It will improve the value chain of agricultural commodities. It will improve the food processing, storage locations, etc. It will also bring the private investment in the agriculture as well as cold chain development, storage, etc. Overall, it will improve the job creation in these fields. However, critics of this new amendment act says that there can be an increased holding in the commodities of essential commodities. This may lead to a price rise in the future. These are the two negative impact that has been highlighted by the many critics of this act. Thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, please do comment, like and subscribe the channel. You can also mention some of the current affairs that you want me to cover in the future videos in the comment section. That will be useful for you as well as me. Thank you.